thank you very much for speaking to us about Saturdays. It is a fun series.
It is fun.
So tell us what initially drew you to be a part of this series in the first place.
I when I got this script from, my managers and agents, when I saw Norman Vance's name on it and Marseille Martin, I thought, okay, well, I'm already in. Like, you got me with just those two names. I've worked with Norm before. Marseille, just such a brilliant mind. And, I don't want to say, because, she's young, but that's not even just the way her mind works. And to know that she saw a void, I think, or not even a void, but a voice that needed to be, celebrated, that needed to be heard. Mm-hmm. And I think Saturdays completely honors that voice. And so when I read the script, I was completely taken in. Family, two husband and wife bakers, Deb and Calby Bacon, this really funny, but heartfelt family and kids, and then all of their friends that orbit around them, and the skating rink, Chicago, JB style of skating. I mean, it was a win-win for me. And I love to be able to sort of represent a piece of our community that's intentional, and to be able to do that on Disney when my own daughter's 13, but she grew up watching these shows. So to be able to be part of it, and now for her to be able to turn it on and say, oh my gosh, there's my mom. And hey, look at Paris. She looks like me. My mom and Cal and Deb that's my world. That's my home. That's what I know. And, when you see what what is familiar to you, you feel better. You have a different way you walk, a different way you move, because you're being represented.
Yeah. Yeah, man. With this script, it was definitely a no-brainer. Everything she said, I echo completely. I mean, it was like, you just check off the list here. Let's see, you got successful parents. They're at home. They're raising their kids. Trying to do it the best they can. They're leading by example. Mm-hmm. They started up a business at home. Check. Okay. We got the backdrop of roller skating. All right. Is it like any other roller skating that I've seen before? No, it's competitive roller skating in Chicago. Okay. So they got the JV skating. Wow. Okay. Check that off. They do cutaways like in Blackish. They do the little cutaways, but they're animated. Okay. Never seen that before. They highlight a skater they highlight a different skater every episode, at the end of every episode, which was something they kind of added towards the end. But once I found that, I was like, really? Well, I haven't seen that before. Mm-hmm. They have a performance at the end of every episode. And these girls learned a new routine every episode. Now, we only had to skate one time, or she twice, one routine that I had to learn. But it was great just to go into their world, and it was, I do music and hip hop, and it's like, it's a whole culture, you got to dress it and walk the talk. So it was skating, and these guys like, come on down to the rink and check it out. And I was just like, wow, it's like watching the freeway. Just jump in there, but if it didn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter, what your race is, what your background is, you're going to enjoy it. You go out there, enjoy yourself, you're going to have a good time. And that's what Saturdays is. I mean, it's about a Black family in Chicago, but I think no matter who you are, where you're from, you're going to watch this family and go, okay, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. When she goes down to the skating rink, and there are all the different people and different dynamics there with the rivalry, the other crews that are battling against each other. That may just be like high school when you're trying to fit in, you're trying to go up with something, but everybody has a goal. They're all trying to get something accomplished. At home, we have a bakery business that we're trying to grow into something bigger, which, progresses throughout the season. And the girls, their whole drive is to become Goldens, which we used to be. Yeah. So we're very helpful and useful to them as they're trying to, navigate that world and say, well, what do you think we should do about this upcoming competition? And, we got 3 girls and one girl moves away. And how do we deal with that? And then, and my brother's there and he's the DJ and he's got his friend and they're trying to get their rap tape or their mixtape in here with this guy. And how, there's all these different dynamics. He brings in the music. Then you got the, the styles and the hair and the culture. Oh man, it's a lot. I'm like, whoa! I just talking about it. But it's awesome. Every show is a meal. It's like a mini movie, like she said. It's really good.
Well, I have time for one more thing, real fast.
Sorry.
Like, as a TV couple yourselves, do you guys find this couple as more loving or more competitive?
Well, I think for Cal and Deb, it's one and the same. I think that they're fun, rivalry. They're fun, they're baking, competitive nature is part of what moves them. They're competitive even when there's an episode where they're playing ping pong, and they're just very competitive by nature. And I think it's a fun competitive sort of,
Yeah.
dynamic. I don't think it's, I will get him. I don't think I think it's all in the name of fun.
Right.
And I think it's hilarious. And I think a lot of couples base their connection on different things. It could be, they love to read or they love to bike or they love eating in restaurants. But I think for Cal and Deb, it really is this beautiful, life that they've made for themselves. But they've got this bakery and they're very competitive because they both believe that they're better than the other across the board.
Right.
And I think there's something fun about that. And I don't think it's meant to be taken like, oh, is it this or is it that? I think they're one and the same. And there's comedy to be built off of that. And I think Norman and the team do a great job.
No, they did a great job. We're competitive at times, like you said, but it's also loving. We kind of parent the same way where we kind of try to lead them, without telling them what to do and let them find it out on their own. And then, as we run our business, it's the same way. It's kind of like, okay, I want to try this, or hey, I did this. Oh, I didn't tell you about it. Well, we needed to change this, and then we'll come together. Most of the time we're together. Oh, we got to figure this out. We got to fill this order. We got to do this, got to do that. So there's a lot of that. And I think it's like she said, Norman, beautiful job, Norman. Beautiful job at writing this thing because he made our job very easy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll let Norman know that. So
please do. Tell him I said. No.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Much.
Have a good one.